Hi everybody, Ricky Cool here. It's Mississippi saxophone time, and today I'm featuring two saxophone players who were part of one of my all-time favourite rhythm and blues groups from the 1940s and 1950s, Joe Liggins and his Honeydrippers. And in this video we're going to be looking at his #1 million seller, as it says here, the Honeydripper. Okay, I'm going to put a screenshot up for what you need today. You'll need a C harmonica as well, so let's get into this. The two saxophone players in Joe Liggins and his Honeydrippers were little Willie Jackson, here, who played alto and baritone sax and was one of the co-founders of the band, and James Jackson on tenor sax. I'm not sure whether or not they were related. I don't think so. What I'm going to do is look at 2 licks from James Jackson and 2 licks from little Willie Jackson. This track, this famous track, the Honeydripper, is a part 1 and part 2. There's over 6 minutes of the track, and it's absolutely chock full of ideas that as a harmonica player we can adapt and utilize. So I would urge you, I really would, to study this track, because I'm only going to scratch the surface. The first lick I want to look at is James Jackson, and it comes in at 1 minute 45 seconds. Let's have a listen. That's the lick. I'll just let it run. Okay, so you can see he plays the lick twice, but he's got a slightly different answer the second time. It's like a question and answer lick. There's the question. There's the answer. And a different answer the second time round. So you could break it into 2 halves if you like. Just use that bit, or you could just use or. It's a really useful little lick. Let's put up a backing track and just see how we can utilize it. Something with a different feel. This is a rumba style blues from MCCD sessions. See how it works. When you play the first note, if you can bend it down slightly as well as you're playing it and holding it, just bend it down. That really helps rather than playing it straight. So that's lick #1. Let's look at lick #2. This is James Jackson again. Comes in at 2 minutes and 2 seconds. Here it is. Okay, so what I've done, I've adapted this slightly. Instead of just playing a single note, first of all, 6-hole blow, I'm using the 3/6 octave. And then, and I'm leaving out the last note. That's what James Jackson does. I'm just doing this. Let's play it. And then he goes on to just repeat that first part of the lick a number of times. Let's see how this one works against this rumba style backing track. Again, you can see that it works really well against a different feel. Lick #3 is little Willie Jackson. He's playing alto sax, and it comes in at 2 minutes 40, and it's a really interesting one. Have a listen. It's coming in now. it's just that descending run. I've had to adapt it slightly, but the interesting thing about this is it's basically the minor pentatonic scale. Okay, I've added the 2 extra notes on which come from the next octave of the scale. But what he's doing is, instead of just going, he puts a nice little bend in the note. Then he misses 1 note out from the scale and he does another little bend. And then at the end, instead of going, he goes, puts in an extra note. Well, he actually just bends down the first note, but you can't do that. So I'm putting in an extra note. Let's try it out against the rumba. Again, you can see that the little descending run works really nicely. The final lick is Little Willie Jackson again, and this comes in part 2 of the Honeydripper, and he's basically stating the theme of the song. It comes in at 3 minutes and 8 seconds. And that's it. Then a little gap, and then. And again, you could split this into 2 halves. Just use the first bit, or just use the second bit. Okay, let's put it against the rumba. And so on. There's one thing I want to mention before I finish this video, and that's the use of a half-step bend to the actual note. It's a little feature of the saxophone playing of both of the Jacksons in the Joe Liggins band. And it's something that's really worthwhile practicing and utilising in your own harmonica playing. So on the 2 draw, on the 3 draw, and on the 4 draw. You've seen examples of it on the 3 draw and the 4 draw in the riffs that I've covered, but I'm going to give you a little bonus, and this is on the 2 draw. It's towards the end of the track. Have a listen to what's going on. Okay. So you've got 1 draw, 2 draw, half step to 2 draw, back to 1 draw, and then the 2 draw, half step to 2 draw. That's a really good little riff. Or there's so much you can do with that. I'm going to leave you for now. I'm going to play out with the rumba and try out these licks.